Thanks and welcome to the 650 with me, K. John Henry at Timby. We begin with what's up stories. Scandal in Douala as a 13-year-old girl is reported to have been raped by her stepfather. The suspect is a string performer and member of the City Council Orchestra. And Cameroon rated amongst the 15 countries in the world with the worst fixed brand internet speed and connection, occupying the 12th position. This is further compounded by high cost of internet connection. The 650 News samples public opinion on how they are coping with poor internet connection. And over the weekend, a lawyer was killed in Bambali, northwest region of Cameroon, after an attempt to kidnap an official while in Bali. Meantime, the guns have gone silent as 6 separatist fighters down their weapons in readiness to join the DDR center. This is happening at a time a journalist, Ruben Frederick Toh, is reported to have been kidnapped by unknown gunmen in the city of Bamenda. Top story. You can join us on our respective platforms for consultation on Canal International. I'll begin from Douala, where a 13-year-old child is reported to have been raped by the stepfather. That is in Douala. The child attested to investigative officials of having endured painful ordeals for 2 years before conferring to her aunt on what she has been going through after she could not succumb to the trauma. More indeed with the details.
Mevey is walking, but she remains traumatized. A victim of rape. At the age of 11, Mevey has been constantly tortured, raped and sodomized by her mother's husband, an act that the victim succumbed to with her legs and hands tied and papers filled in her mouth. An abominable act that the victim's mother's husband has rejected even behind bars. Her uncle, who has been pressing for justice at the level of the court, says the case has been opened and the man must answer for his crime. This Monday, he had to move from one court yard to another in a bid to seek for justice.
Et quand je suis arrivé chez la présidente du tribunal, son secrétaire m'a fait comprendre que c'est pourquoi je lui ai donné le nom de M. Kwedi, qui est le bourreau de ma fille.
The mother of the victim revealed to us the daughter once alerted her that the husband was undressing and having sex with her. Without carrying proper investigation, she is said to have confronted the husband, who rather threatened her.
Il est arrivé à la maison, il a donné les rames de papier, mais Mevey s'est fâchée, elle a commencé à déchirer ça.
Victim of domestic violence too, the mother of the 11-year-old confessed that the man often gave her concoctions which she drank too often, sometimes making her lose her brains, and sleeps in the parlor.
Il me poursuivait avec la machette, j'ai essayé de supporter. Mais ça là, je ne peux pas supporter parce qu'il a détruit mon avenir.
The child only exposed her pain at her aunt's residence. Her medical reports shows she was raped repeatedly and sodomized.
According for the Vajana, we are sure that there are some elasticity, there are some traumatizing things around.
Dr. Yo-Yo has pledged to follow up the child mentally and medically.
She's like too traumatized.
Meantime, the mother says she is...
L'éducation de l'enfant à la maison, c'est bien.
Cameroon is witnessing a disturbing rise in child rape cases, prompting many parents to intensify efforts to shield their children from harm. Families are implementing new domestic rules and turning to education and communication as key tools for prevention.
Et autres, c'est pas très bon, c'est pas déjà bon c'est pas bon, c'est pas déjà bon chez moi.
In households, parents are becoming increasingly vigilant. Some have introduced stricter guidelines about who may interact with their children and under what circumstances. Others believe that the first line of defense is awareness, encouraging open conversations with children to spot early signs of abuse and prevent trauma.
Regardless of age, it is crucial that we engage in open and honest dialogue with our children, both boys and girls. With rape cases on the rise, no one is exempted from the risk. I have mostly daughters, and I constantly remind them that their private parts are theirs alone, not to be touched or seen by anyone else.
Child protection advocates warn that a significant portion of abuse occurs within the family cycle. According to estimates, nearly 80% of reported rape cases involving children stem from the family environment, a reality that underscores the urgency of community-level vigilance and systemic reform.
Communication is key. We must speak with our children daily, guiding them to understand the importance of personal boundaries and staying alert in all situations.
One of the most recent and shocking cases involves a 13-year-old girl who was sexually abused over a span of nearly 3 years by her mother's husband. The case is now in the hands of the judiciary as the public awaits justice.
And over the weekend, a lawyer was killed in Bambali, northwest of Cameroon, after an attempt to kidnap an official in Bali. So big-time guns have actually gone silent as 6 separatist fighters have downed their weapons in readiness to join the DDR center. Details with Sheriff Saleh.
2 persons have been killed in 2 separate incidents in Bambali in the northwest region over the weekend. The first case occurred at the residence of the general manager of the Upper Noon Valley Development Authority, UNVDA, not far from Three Corners, Bambali. Reports say gunmen who tried but failed to kidnap the general manager decided to vent their anger on those at home at the time. They killed a certain barrister Ngu Clement, recently sworn in into the Cameroon Bar Association, and wounding 2 others. Still in the university town of Bambali, a retired police officer was shot dead at his home by yet-to-be-identified persons on the same weekend. Meanwhile, over in Bali, still in Mizam Division, 6 separatist fighters have laid down their arms. They were presented to the public on Saturday at the Ntamfuang Town Square by the divisional officer for Bali. To the heavy crowd that turned up to receive them, the repentant fighters presented their apologies for all the atrocities committed. This brings to about 30 the number of Amba boys in Bali subdivision for the past month who have turned their backs to what they used to refer to as the War of Independence.
Thanks very much, Sheriff Saleh. Meanwhile, 1 day after the 12th Press Freedom Day 2025 that was commemorated on May 3, a Bamenda-based journalist, Vuben Frederick Toh, is reported to have been kidnapped by unknown armed men. Vuben Frederick, who is a print media practitioner in the Northwest region, was kidnapped, and as reports indicate, he was abducted in Mai 11 in Bambui, that is in the Tuba subdivision, on his way back from his native village in Kejem Keku. That was on Saturday, May 4, 2025. And according to sources, Vuben Frederick has been professional in the exercise of his duty and has known to be very sociable amongst the folks in the Northwest region. Prior to his being transferred to the Northwest region of the country, Vuben Frederick has been practicing in Yaoundé as well as in Douala, and of course has remained resolutely professional in the line of duty. And it must be specified that Vuben Frederick, who is a friendly person to the population, is equally a writer who just actually published his recent book that was launched in the Northwest region of the country. We will be bringing you updates on the kidnap of Vuben Frederick Toh as they would unfold. Now let's talk green, as the city of Douala is turning green, and Ambo Gladys Dibang tells us that trees are being planted rigorously to make sure they contain the excruciating approach of climate change.
Neighborhoods such as Rue des Manguiers, Cocotier, and Cité des Palmiers were once named after the mango, coconut, and palm trees that lined their streets. Today, those names tell a story of the past. Most of the trees have vanished, cut down in the name of development. Inhabitants of these iconic neighborhoods are calling for stronger, sustained tree planting initiatives, not just as a way to beautify their surroundings, but to restore the identity of communities named after the very nature that once defined them.
The trees have grown old, and I believe it's time to plant new ones to preserve the freshness they provide and to ensure the streets continue to live up to its name, Rue des Manguiers. Plants are a part of nature. Wherever they grow, they enhance the surroundings with beauty and bring a refreshing atmosphere during both the dry and rainy seasons.
Only sweltering neighborhoods now exist without proper shade and an increase in heat and air pollution. According to experts, tree planting campaigns, though commendable, have not kept pace with the rates of deforestation caused by unchecked urbanization.
For people to live comfortably, especially without relying on air conditioners, trees are essential. When building houses, if the surrounding environment is harmful or unfit, it affects our well-being. To live well, we must improve our environment. Many signs show that Africans live amidst pollution, and we must act against it to improve our quality of life.
As Douala grows, experts insist that urban planning must go hand in hand with environmental protection so that its future remains rooted in green.
And we move forward to Yaoundé, where Doctors Without Borders this morning organized a hand-washing campaign or sensitization campaign around the Olembe Motor Park. Beatrice Ngamo tells us that this campaign falls in line with the World Day of hand sanitization, and of course drivers and travelers alike were sensitized.
Simple, proper hand hygiene goes thus. You wet the hand, then you apply soap. It can be a bar or liquid soap. You then scrub your hands well, front and back, the nails, between fingers, and after which you rinse with clean water. Yes, Doctors Without Borders wants travelers, drivers, hawkers at the Olembe Motor Park under Yaoundé 1 to adopt this under the theme Clean Hands, Barrier against cholera.
I want to encourage people to continue to wash their hands because we are fighting against cholera, and this is a way to contribute to fight against cholera.
Many passers-by campaign to learn the method, which is very important in their daily activities. After cleaning a child, visiting the toilet, before eating, and more. A simple gest, barrier stronger than any wall, especially as this clean hands reduces by 50% health concerns like cholera and related diseases.
Si nous mettons ça en pratique, nous croyons que nous pouvons remporter cette bataille.
Soap and clean water. Prevention, it is said, is better than cure. With the rains, overcrowded areas like motor parks and markets, this is one of the primordial gestes for good health. This initiative by Doctors Without Borders is in line with the World Hand Hygiene Day, today May 5th, 2025. Clean hands, an act COVID-19 forced us to remember, should be part and parcel of our daily routine.
And Cameroon is rated 15th country or amongst the 15 countries in the world with the worst fixed broadband internet spend. Now, the 615 is how they are coping with poor internet connection in this dispensation of electronic superhighways. Hi, Cynthia.
From poor connections to unjustified data disappearance.
I do, because sometimes you activate maybe like 500 francs, you don't end up doing what you wanted to do because maybe they've got you due to network issues. I don't.
As time I usually activate calls. At that call, maybe I'll put crazy. The crazy suddenly they'll just send me crazy. They have called me creative for 200 francs that I don't even understand. The statement, even the connection. When I will even activate 500 francs, I will just look at just a video. They will just cut like that. I have not even activated anything. They will just cut it. We do not do anything. That's very disturbing.
Sometimes when I 3 to 5 minutes, and that's a problem for me because you might be urgent on something to do something very important, but then your message is going to last for a very long period of time before it arrives to the receiver.
The consequences users lament are colossal, crippling businesses and stifling productivity.
It affects me because I don't do my job. Because, for example, difficulties, I'm unable to discuss with my clients and all that. Like, as you can see, we sell electronic gadgets. So sometimes I need to post fridges, freezers, TVs, and then due to that, I'm unable to do all that.
They urge the
It's a really serious problem. Improve on the connection network in Cameroon.
You have just finished like for what? Solve the problem.
Many also cry foul over the steep internet cost in Cameroon, demanding relief from what they see as double or triple payment for the services.
Turns about the urgent need for English-speaking journalists as part of the world pressure on the use of artificial intelligence in their work. Details with Sherifa Saleh.
With growing concerns about the influence of artificial intelligence on journalism ethics, employment, and freedom of expression, the Cameroon Association of English-Speaking Journalists Douala chapter held a timely and thought-provoking media exchange with journalism students at the University of Douala over the weekend.
Sometimes artificial intelligence will make people do certain corrections.
We are journalists, and as journalists, with it, you are going to be exposed to many things because today we discovered that artificial intelligence has all the fake news.
The initiative, part of activities marking World Press Freedom Day, focused on this year's global theme, reporting in the brave new world the impact of artificial intelligence on the press freedom and the media. It brought to the fore the tension between innovation and integrity in a rapidly digitizing industry.
And this is the beginning why, and that by their experiences can really share us what we can face there outside.
For the participating students, the event was not just informative but transformative. Many expressed a renewed commitment to ethical journalism, acknowledging both the threats and the opportunities without losing their core values, and prioritize fact-checking.
Thank you for being there with us. Coming up is Lady Brief. It's goodbye from me.